You start, because I started yesterday.
Thanks for the intro, Rand. Welcome back to the jerry-rigged frickin' E3 podcast. We're so hyped! so ready! This is what we've been waiting for a full day since the last episode.
Why can't you fucking be that hype when you, pay me rent or some shit?
You're not getting that hype. So, today, we had...
Fun fact, by the way,
right.
just to kind of throw it into, topical for the Jerry Rig podcast. Our very first recordings of the podcast had E3 2015?
Really?
I think it was E3 2015 or 16, I think.
Wow.
It was when the rumors of the new Zelda and the rumors of
Oh, shoot.
NX
Yeah, okay. I remember now.
Those were the first recordings of the podcast.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yep.
Damn. We've been doing this for a long time and gone not very far. Yes! So we're killing it! So, today we have Microsoft. We took notes. Because we cared to take notes.
Look at my grade.
I didn't look at your grade.
I wish I scored that high in school.
Fuck. So, today we had Microsoft's press conference. It was
really good.
It was pretty good. Actually, not too bad for the kind of the real opener. EA technically was the opener for E3.
Spoiler alert. They didn't show dick.
They didn't do much at all.
They showed 4 games that we already knew existed, 2 of which are already out.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars.
It was basically like the pre-E3 show, really, honestly. So we had at Microsoft today. We're not going to spend too much time because we want to just kind of plow through these and just talk about everything that happened, because a lot actually happened for Microsoft. The biggest thing I have to give Microsoft, seriously, is that they didn't spend a lot of time goofing off.
No.
It just kind of went. The most goofing off there is one celebrity we'll get to soon enough, and a car.
Which
we knew was all they always show a car.
Quite like it was last year.
No.
So one thing I'll say right off the bat is the past, I'd say probably past 2 now, Microsoft press conferences, 2 or 3, I guess if you want to stretch it, have felt a lot like that 2016 Sony conference. That conference where they just literally shovel games down our throat. These past couple Microsoft conferences felt like they're doing that, and then now Sony's bowing out, which is kind of weird.
A little bit funny, actually.
But credit where credit's due. Good to Microsoft. But we got notes.
Yep. We're kind of just going to go from the top to bottom of as they announced things. So we're going to keep it's going to be a very simple structure. So if there's anything you're looking forward to that was said there, it'll show up.
Yeah. So
first things first. First thing out the gate. Their countdown was too slow. That was not real seconds. That was 8. 7. All right, enough of that nitpick.
6.
But it was really odd, random thing. So, right at the gate, first game they showed.
It's actually something I'm actually really excited for, because I'm excited for a new Fallout game.
Yeah.
The Outer Worlds.
The Outer Worlds.
I'm
actually sorry.
Being made by Obsidian, who, if people who don't know, were the original creators of Fallout. They made Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout 2's expansion, and Fallout New Vegas.
And New Vegas, which ironically is, I keep in mind, I have not played Fallout 4. I played 1 through New Vegas, and I played 2 through New Vegas. New Vegas is by far my favorite. Yeah. By far.
So, Outer Worlds, it's very much back to roots, post-apocalyptic.
Yep.
Sci-fi / I guess cyberpunky from some things you kind of see.
Maybe. So one of the things that they did show is that it does seem to have a bit more of this. It almost had Bulletstorm arcadey style gun
which
mechanics.
I'm okay with.
Yeah. So it was this kind of Fallout kind of thematic, aesthetic piece, but gameplay seemed a bit more arcadey. Maybe very little. I want to say very little, but it looked a little bit more, almost colorful.
Yeah, which I was gonna say I think fits that world, because that world is very colorful. There's a lot of really bright blues and yellows,
but
and
still
pinks.
Grungy and dingy and gross.
Everything looks like it was built yesterday.
Yeah, it's this weird mesh of unappealing and eye-catching. It's really hard to explain.
So basically, a lot of the gameplay stuff has already been shown from last year. So this trailer was built to set up the release date. which we got a release date of 10/25/2019, so October 25th. So it's coming out this year. I will be picking it up. I'm actually really excited for it.
So on PC, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I still believe it's an Epic Store exclusive. Excuse me. I believe.
Think so?
But it's definitely on Xbox 360. Xbox One, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know about PlayStation.
I think so. I think it might be multi-platform.
Which is cool. I did have a shrink ray.
It did have a
that
shrink
was
ray.
Cool.
That was awesome.
But so the biggest thing for me from the Outer Worlds, though, was the way they narrated this trailer. Every piece of the narration was RPG stuff.
Yeah.
About your creation, your decisions, about this world kind of being impacted by you. And I don't know how to explain it. It didn't feel that like a markety term. That the words they were saying were right, and the way they were describing it was right. Where it didn't feel like marketing PR speak. It felt like a gamer talking to you. How would you explain a Fallout game to somebody?
Yeah,
like an older Fallout game, especially because 4 kind of took a bit away from a lot of the deep raw customization, which is why I wasn't as excited about it. But 3 in New Vegas, actually, arguably, even 3 in New Vegas took a bit of a step away from that customization from 1 and 2, which are still way deeper in that regard. So I was very happy to see that. I'm very happy that they really are going real to roots of Fallout.
Yeah.
But not Fallout, which is cool.
Yeah. So October 25th, Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
So funny enough, right out the gate, we get a Ninja Theory announcement.
Yeah.
And for what people do or don't know, Ninja Theory was rumored to have this new game obviously being made with Xbox Game Studios.
Yep.
Or alongside them, I should say. And people were like, okay, well, the last game Ninja Theory made was Hellblade. It's the newest.
Yeah.
Well, the last major release they had was Hellblade. So people were wondering what they were going to do. And funny enough, they decided multiplayer was the next venture.
Really caught off guard, by the way. Really.
The way they come out on stage and explain it, they're talking about basically Ninja Theory and a brief synopsis of what they care about in games and what they're known for, and then it pans over to the woman who's on stage, and I'm very sorry I don't remember your name, but she basically says the next venture involves high energy multiplayer fun, and we all heard multiplayer and went, what?
It's not at all what we were expecting from Ninja Theory.
No. So the game is called Bleeding Edge, and I gotta say, it looked interesting as fuck. It was just a trailer.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose my shit over it.
They might have hinted at certain gameplay elements and how certain things worked, but the synopsis of it is it seems to be a hero-based, more close quarters combat arena game. 4v4.
Third person.
Yep, third person. Now there is shooting in it.
Yeah.
I saw at least one character with a machine gun, and I thought I saw a second character with a gun, a ranged weapon. But it seems to be way more melee intimate, way more close quarters, really brutally beating each other up. And the fact that it is hero-based is... I'll be honest, I actually was kind of expecting the hero-based arcade gaming to, move to the side a bit. And I was cool with that. But I'm pretty excited for this. The character designs were really cool. I don't know who that chick was, but the big chick who was on, the wheel, looked like Junkrat's tire, she looked cool.
Awesome.
All the characters look so interesting, so unique, and the way the animations worked and some of the hits, it seemed smooth and it seemed fast paced, which was really cool.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there wasn't more. It was probably 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Of Ninja Theory, but they have a new game coming out, Bleeding Edge. It's probably 2020. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't say a date. This year.
So funny enough, there were a lot more 2020 announcements this year than I was anticipating.
Same.
But yeah, so that's that. The next thing was actually a sequel to a game that came out in 2016?
I'm not even going to pretend to remember. It's been a few years.
I think it's been a while.
A while!
So,
what?
So Ori and the Blind Forest was a critical darling when it came out. It really set the standard and kind of showed what Xbox Game Studios and their indie teams could actually do.
Yeah.
It was a stellar game. It was a very emotional game,
and gorgeous.
Yes. So obviously Will of the Wisps was announced last year, but we didn't get any gameplay. We literally got the trailer. and the announcement.
Yeah.
This year we got kind of gameplay. It was like
I think those were actual gameplay sequences cut out.
It was a gameplay trailer. The main note I took down from this, other than the release date, which they did announce, was it felt like a change in tone. Because I remember Ori and the Blind Forest being very nuanced in its tone as far as where things were going and how you knew they were getting there. This is like, it almost feels like an adventure strictly by yourself, fighting for your life without actually fighting. It felt like a constant run. Every gameplay segment they showed had a different monster coming after you.
It's true. The other thing too with Blind Forest almost felt very, I'm gonna use the word again, but very intimate, very kind of humbling, very down to earth, very raw emotion.
The game wanted you to lower your defenses.
Yeah, and everything felt just more tranquil for the most part, besides its kind of action sequences.
Yeah.
This out the gate is high energy. The complete antithesis to Blind Forest.
Yeah.
Like, the way the stages were moving kind of took something out of, like, Rayman Origins.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, the foreground and the background. These aren't, like, two separate planes. They're kind of this interchangeable 3D space that you're moving between.
Yeah.
But not, like, binarily. It's dynamic. And the escape sequences at one point away from, like, the spider was really dynamic. That's probably the best way I can explain what they've shown. Is it's way more energy, massively still colorful, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow. Music was still incredible. The clutch gameplay still you could see was there.
It
just
fun.
felt
it just
energetic. I think this is one of those things that people who like Blind Forest are really going to like it. And the people who maybe didn't like kind of Blind Forest's more, I don't want to just say tranquil approach because it's not entirely true, but I think people will understand what I'm meaning. That kind of more down and dirty approach to this more action. I don't want to say action either, but like it really is just way more high octane energy compared to Blind Forest.
I would argue a little bit of action because there were snippets of gameplay where you are at least defending yourself. I don't know how extensive your combat is going to be in the game, but we saw like you throwing like light bombs or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Little
wisps. I think they've just made the environmental exploration of Blind Forest was stupendous, but the creature interactions were probably the weakest part of the game.
Yeah.
I think this is fixing that. I think the creature interactions are going to be way more interesting.
So it also got a release date. So February 11th, 2020 is when Ori and the Will-O'-the-Wisps are coming out. So if you're a fan of Ori and the Blind Forest, you're going to pick it up, enjoy.
I think you're going to love it.
And it was a cool, it was a cool trailer. Go watch it. The next thing was actually kind of took us all back with how actually decent it looked.
I hate that I'm actually interested in it.
So, Minecraft's been beaten to death, right? It's one of the most... It helmed this era of indie games and indie developers being able to...
And early access.
Yeah. So, we're getting a new Minecraft game, which people might think, well, why make a new Minecraft game? Well, because you're not actually Minecrafting in this game. So, I don't remember what it's Minecraft Dungeons.
Minecraft Dungeons.
So, it's called Minecraft Dungeons. And it's a Minecraft action RPG. 4-player co-op action RPG. And I'll be honest, it looked really fun.
It's an isometric view, just like Diablo, Path of Exile.
Your weapons have abilities.
Yep.
Your menus and everything look just like a lot of other action RPGs.
There's waves of enemies coming at you. You're taking things out as a group,
and it's
a lot of the items have these had the stat layouts on them, so they're really going for this action RPG approach.
I'm curious to see as far as like how in depth it gets. I don't think it's gonna be like crazy in depth, but I think it'll be in depth enough to at least engage younger people anyway. Because
my biggest worry is that, and by the way, this is excluding Redstone or whatever it was called, to do all the circuitry.
Yeah.
There was pretty much no depth in Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's very surface level, very basic, and for myself...
why it's successful.
But the contrary to that, though, is for like myself, I get bored so fast. Yeah. I've always said this, I actually have a video on my channel about it. The first night of Minecraft is the most interesting night, and then the rest gets really boring really fast.
Yeah.
So my only concern about Minecraft Dungeons is it going to be interesting for a long time, or is it just going to be very surface level, very basic... hack and slash gameplay, which will be fun for a period of time, but that could get old quickly.
I'm curious to at least try it.
Yeah.
So it got a release. It says spring 2020. My guess is probably
March.
Okay. But yeah, Minecraft Dungeons is coming out. I never thought I would ever say ARPG in Minecraft.
No, seriously.
Rad.
Weird.
You know what? It's probably going to be better than Diablo 3.
It's not hard to do.
I'm sorry, Sage.
I'm not.
So
then we had our boy Phil Spencer come out, and I wrote specifically, there's some super brother love for Phil Spencer.
He is,
dude. People love this man, and
for good reason.
To be fair, yeah, for good reason. The guy has turned the Xbox team around pretty massively from the Xbox One's launch and announcement, which was pretty much panned as one of the most anti-consumer pieces of equipment ever, which is now turned into, I hate to say it, but probably the console to own as far as like a console perspective.
Well, the problem, a lot of the problem also now is just Sony, for whatever reason, isn't really selling the PS4 like they were at launch. They're not.
You mentioned this earlier, that there's this flip. Sony started as the super pro consumer, really hitting all the right checkboxes. And then after about the first year or year and a half-ish of the PS4, after the success started to hit them, they almost realized, all right, we've got it. Like, we've succeeded. Yeah. We can do whatever we want now. And we can do all these dickish things. We can be super anti-consumer. We can be the horrid people that people expect.
Deny crossplay. We can have
all these stupid things,
streaming services.
And people are already invested into the platform, so they're kind of stuck until the next generation of consoles. The problem is, long-term, it's a terrible solution, because now people are going into the PS5 cynically, very cynically, and they're looking now to Microsoft thinking, well, do we just 360 it again and go back to Microsoft?
Yeah.
Which might be what people end up doing, because Microsoft, we'll get to this later, Microsoft is talking right when they're talking about the platform. It could just be they're saying the right things, and Phil Spencer could just be talking completely out of his ass. But he is saying the right things.
Oh, yeah.
He really is.
And I think Phil Spencer, as far as the face... I say the face of a company only because he is who you see at E3.
He's the face of Xbox.
He's the face of Xbox.
Yeah.
So I think coming from him versus if, like, random Sony executive came out on stage... Yeah. My only issue with Sony E3s, has only been really one thing, because they've been showing so many games, is always the people that have come out and talk, I feel, aren't genuine. They're only talking about the game because it's on PlayStation. They're not talking about the game because they care, which always kind of was weird to me, but I gave Sony the pass because they always just showed so much shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Phil Spencer, even when I wasn't on Xbox's side at the beginning, I still liked listening to him.
You know what it reminds me of? It's almost like Chris Metzen from Blizzard. When Chris Metzen was still at the company, even if he was announcing something or talking about something that you weren't passionate about, you got passionate about it. Because the dude just knew, he felt like he was in it.
I don't know if it's quite the caliber, so I might change this to the other guy. But Phil Spencer almost feels like he's trying to Iwata Microsoft and trying to lift Microsoft back up.
I think it's relatively fair.
And if I can't say Iwata, I would have said Reggie. He feels, the only difference is Reggie always felt like he was trying to sell you something.
Reggie is the weirdest guy ever, because he feels like a CEO / president, but he's such a dweeb.
Yeah, he's my favorite gaming meme.
Yeah, he's so funny. All right, so anyway, Phil Spencer came out and started talking a lot.
Yeah.
He said a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
To be fair, his first time out on the stage.
Just that filler shit.
Yeah. Then we did get a game. I don't know how much to say about it, but Blair Witch.
It looks like Outlast.
It looks like Outlast.
I mean, it looks fine.
I don't know who's making it. It might be the same people, so that might explain it.
Yeah.
But it's a horror game with a camera.
Yeah.
Not like Fatal Frame style, but like Outlast with a digital camera, and there's a dog involved. Dog's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. I mean, it does look good, but I don't have a lot to say on it. It looks creepy.
It looks like Outlast. If you like Outlast, you're probably gonna play it.
Yeah. Then we had the big one. One of the big ones. The one that people cared about going into this, really, which was, of course, Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, there's another one, but that...
Nope, Cyberpunk happened. And it was the most important. Let's be fair, even over that other one,
yeah,
everyone cares about Cyberpunk way more, because, CD Projekt Red has just had such a good run. Wow.
So Cyberpunk happened, and we kind of knew we were going to get probably another trailer and then probably a release date.
Yes, let's preface this with actually not a lot happened.
Yeah.
So, but it was still exciting. It was
at the end of the trailer...
Which
actually, David said something in Discord, right?
Yeah.
David said they hid this very well because this wasn't even leaked. No one even knew this guy was in the game.
That's true.
So we had arguably probably the best cameo we're probably gonna have all E3. Fucking Keanu Reeves is in Cyberpunk 2077, and he came out on stage, and he's still the coolest human alive. Like
he was pretty chill. Like, it was pretty awesome.
The thing is that crowd went fucking bananas for Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
and like. Everything else just didn't feel me.
Yes, it was so funny too because it was like he was clearly like kind of awkward because he's kind of like an awkward guy, but he seemed almost shy.
He's too humble.
Yeah, he seemed shy, and then as he's talking about it, people kept interrupting him by cheering at him. So he'd be like, "Guys, I gotta finish. Like, please, I have to. We have a time. I gotta do my thing."
What was the thing the guy yelled to him at the end? Saying?
So Keanu Reeves said something like, "In this game is amazing," and this guy in the crowd said, "No, you're amazing," and then Keanu Reeves, "No, you're amazing." It was so cute.
So Cyberpunk looks amazing. We already knew that. David, there's been gameplay for a year. What's the problem?
Like 45 minutes of it.
Yeah. So, along with the trailer, we get a finally, we have a date to mark on our calendars and to take off of work.
Yeah. And Riley, actually, real quick before we get to that, his brother Riley was here. We were watching it, and Riley made a good point, actually, during the trailer and cutscenes they were showing of this story moment. Riley made a good comment. I think he's accurate, because this happened in The Witcher 3 a ton. Riley had said, how much do you want to bet that piece of the story some people aren't going to get because they went down a different path or they solved that problem differently.
Which is awesome.
It's just great. The first game that really hit me with that was Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Where so many different things I had experienced other people hadn't, and vice versa, and that was so cool. But The Witcher had that happen a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for Cyberpunk to have that happen if it does, to just be like, hey man, remember that time like you slaughtered what's-her-face? And you'd be like, nah, dude, I saved her or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I'm really curious to see how well that gets brought into throughout the game. But
we finally get the release date.
Yeah.
It's April 16th, 2020.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Mark your calendars, quit your job, take time off work, whatever you got to do to play Cyberpunk. Actually, I am gonna endorse that. Quit your job. Quit your job. You don't need it.
I am not seconding that. I'm cutting that one out real fast.
My name's Chaz. I second that.
Oh shoot, did I do that?
Good for coming around, buddy.
So other thing though, real quick about Cyberpunk. Holy crap! Do the effects
look ridiculous?
The hands. For the first time ever, a lot of people, it's always the face or the eyes. This was this dude washing his hands. And to know that these characters, you can fully customize these models in the character creation, it's insane.
It's ridiculous.
It's nuts. All right. So anyway, then we started getting into a slew of indie games, or smaller titles, not just indie, but smaller titles. The first one we had was Spiritfarer.
Which we all kind of awed right at the end, because they hit right at the end.
Yeah, so they don't tell you what the name of the game is, obviously, until the end.
So, I actually made the comment pretty early on in the trailer. It's a game where you're this little girl, and you have I'm assuming a little spirit animal, because it like follows you around.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And you have this ship, and you can build upon the ship and customize it and hire people. It reminded me, I was like, what is this, like a fantasy FTL?
Yeah.
You know, probably not to that extent, but, you know, it looked like there was like crafting, you could go to shops, and you could interact with people. So, like, the game goes on. The art style is very unique. It's almost like, you said it, it looks like Steven Universe.
It does.
It does very much like Steven Universe. So you keep watching the trailer, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool, it's cute, blah, blah, blah. So then
you're just helping people, growing relationships with them, it looks like. At one point, you bake a cake for someone.
And then you hug them.
Yeah, like, happy birthday, or whatever.
Which in the back of my head, I was thinking, oh, what a really weird mechanic. You can, like, hug people, blah, blah, blah. So then you get to, like, the last 15 seconds of the trailer, and you end up at this archway, and you're hugging onto this person, and the text says, and then it's time to say goodbye. And then it clicked for me. I was like, oh my god. You're delivering people to the afterlife. And then, like, right after that, It came up Spiritfarer. And we all just went, oh god.
Yeah, this whole game is built around you assisting people through the afterlife or to the afterlife, and you're that transition, and your job is to build these relationships with them, and that's gonna be heartbreaking.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I can handle that emotional stress.
That's something I think we're gonna have to play on stream.
Oh, that would be... I would just cry.
That's
I don't know if I can handle that.
With you, buddy, but it looks really cool, so I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, it does look really cool.
I have written down Game Pass Showcase because it kind of shows like all the indie stuff that's...
Yeah, there's a couple of real quick ones. Battletoads they showed. It looks very different to the original Battletoads in a lot of ways, a lot of good ways.
Yeah.
Art style's very cool. Almost reminds you of Cuphead. A little bit, in a way. The levels seem very different. This doesn't look like a remake. This looks like a complete reimagining of what Battletoads would be today.
Yeah.
That looked cool. There was The Legend of Wright. The heck was that game?
I have no idea.
I have no clue.
It was like a storybook, comic, diorama, combat, story...
Fighting a boss, solving kind of puzzle.
Sorta.
I have no idea.
Just go look up the trailer for Legend of Wright, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I have no idea what that game was. The whole time, I wish I knew what you were. I wish I could figure you out. In a way, it was almost like watching Death Stranding, where you're just like, "The hell are you?" So there was that. There was I wrote down Crosscode, which looked really cool. Really neat RPG.
I don't...
it was the one right before the game. I don't remember the name of it. It was right before the game that was like Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh, yeah.
There's a game that looks like Hyper Light Drifter. That looks cool.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other little ones in there that they like rapidly showed through. And then they got to the Xbox Game Pass stuff.
Yeah. Which, we've said it time and time again. We said it a lot yesterday when we did the podcast. The Game Pass is amazing.
It's a very good value for money.
So they announced more stuff coming to Game Pass, some more pricing details as far as things moving forward.
Yep.
And some new things as far as, PC and what Game Pass is going to be for PC.
Yep.
So they announced a couple games coming today. Just, Arkham Knight, Borderlands Handsome Collection. What was the other big one? There was 4, but I'm trying to remember. There was like the 3. Oh, God.
I'm not remembering.
No shit. But either way, games like that are coming. And then they were talking about how, Game Pass pricing has always been important, and how feeling inclusive is how they want gamers to feel because they spend all this time getting games to come to Game Pass.
Yep.
So within this, they announced Game Pass for PC, and they announced that they're front loading 100 games to PC for Game Pass, which thank you very much.
Yep. So just real quick, for people who don't know what the Game Pass is, the Xbox Game Pass, essentially it's a subscription you pay every month, and
I think it's either $10 a month or you can pay an upfront charge for the year.
I think so. So you can pay the subscription fee, and you have access to everything within that game's library, including games that come out. So if a game comes out next month, you have the subscription, you're paying $10, you continue it to next month, you could play that game next month at the day it comes out, like normal.
Yeah.
You just play it. It's a fantastic value for money for $10 a month, but the way it currently works now, or will work, is there will be the Xbox One Game Pass for $10 a month, the Xbox PC Game Pass for $10 a month, or now the Xbox Pass Ultimate, which I believe the Ultimate Pass already still exists. They've now added the PC Pass into that already.
So if you pay the $15 a month already, you get the PC one automatically.
And that also includes Xbox Live Gold, including in that price. So for an extra $5 a month, you have the pass on your console, your PC, and you have Live, which already destroys the PS Plus service. Just destroys
completely
it. For that money, I'm willing to spend an extra few bucks a year to get that sheer amount of content, which is great, especially if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of money to spend on games, or just doesn't want to spend a lot of money on games. You can just spend the subscription fee and just pay the games as they come out. So you spend like maybe 100 something a year to play whatever
like
games
30,
come out.
40 games a year,
that's fantastic.
That's crazy.
And they can most of them include like the new games that come out each day.
I mean, I know Sony has like their PlayStation streaming service a little figured out now, but it doesn't compare. It just doesn't compare.
It's not.
It never has, and it probably never will, unless they literally rip off Game Pass.
And the problem with the EA Access subscription is it's exclusive to EA games.
Yeah,
and it's just not enough.
Especially since nobody wants to play your fucking games.
That's also true.
So yeah, that came in while. That was probably about 10 minutes or so.
That was our boy Phil Spencer.
Huh?
That was our boy Phil Spencer, wasn't it?
What, the Game Pass?
Oh, no, it was a chick.
What's her face?
It was the Sarah, no.
Huckabee Sanders.
No, it was Bond. Sarah Bond.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sarah Bond.
With way too high heels.
Yes. Sarah, the hell were you thinking? You could have eaten shit out there.
I probably would have laughed.
I would have laughed, yeah. I would have felt bad for laughing. Sarah, come on.
So
between you and me. Come on.
So this is kind of where my notes kind of fluctuate because I didn't write everything down.
You didn't write down Microsoft Flight Simulator?
No, I didn't. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
We lulled.
You know if you like it. It was you'll buy it if you always buy them, and you'll never buy it if you never buy it. There was Age of Empires 2.
Yeah. I don't
complete remake. Like complete remaster. It looks really good.
Yeah.
It's Age of Empires 2. If you never played it, if you like strategy games, you'll love Age of Empires 2.
And then it also comes with an expansion, The Reign of Khans or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's actually really
fun. It looks really cool. Yep. But it's Age of Empires. They also had Wasteland 3.
Which was kind of neato. The trailer's actually one of the better ones. It was kind of funny.
It was very funny.
And
it felt almost Borderlands-y in humor. It was really weird humor. Really strange.
Yeah. But it was and the gameplay looked pretty cool.
And this is also set in a post-apocalyptic world, so kind of this really funny humor in this really gringy, dark area of humanity was pretty the contrast there was pretty funny. So if people who don't know Wasteland, this one pretty much looks like a lot of the others. It looks like XCOM meets Gotham City Imposters. I think it's probably that was a great comparison your brother made.
Yeah. Which I'm down.
Yeah.
So after that the Xbox Game Studios thing? Was that showcase or?
Yeah, with our boy.
Well, our boy came after. Well, he was part of that. But I don't remember the guy who came out on stage, but it's basically the guy who's in charge of finding these new studios to bring into Xbox.
That's right, it was him. He introduced our boy.
Yeah. I'm very sorry I don't know his name. He seems like a really cool dude. He puts in a lot of work trying to find game studios who want to work and come to Xbox Game Studios. And we got the announcement that they acquired Double Fine, which if you don't know who Double Fine is, Psychonauts, Brutal Legend,
Broken Age.
I'm missing another big one. Or maybe I'm not.
I'm trying to remember who made Grim Fandango and
that was LucasArts.
LucasArts. Yeah. Why am I thinking they made one of those, not Sam and Max. I'm forgetting which one it was, but they make weird titles. Fun titles.
Amazingly fun. So, with the announcement of Double Fine, obviously the man, the myth, Tim the Legend.
Literally his Twitter is Tim of Legend.
Is Tim Schafer comes out on stage wearing a Psychonauts shirt, so obviously we're getting a Psychonauts trailer.
Yep.
And holy God, it looks fucking incredible.
It is funny and weird and strange and awkward, and the gameplay looks exactly like Psychonauts.
Can't fucking wait.
Every freaking box ticked perfectly.
I
really just one of my most. This is exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Psychonauts. If you know of Psychonauts, you know you'll want this. If you don't know of Psychonauts, you should look it up. It's strange. It's a very unique, cool experience. If
you want a cool experience, you can get it pretty cheap on Steam.
Yeah, it's a cool kind of 3D platformer. For the most part, is really to undersell.
Tim Schafer just blows genres
really
out of the water.
Weird world. It really is strange and fun.
It's funny because Tim Schafer. People always give shit to Tim Schafer for Brutal Legend specifically, but even Brutal Legend's one of the most unique action games that's come out.
It was very unique. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't fantastic.
No, but
it was good though. I had fun with it.
I agree with what Riley said. Riley made a lot of good comments this press conference.
Look at him.
Look at him. I agree with what Riley said. Where Tim Schafer feels like the Jack Black of the gaming industry.
It's true. Which is ironic because Jack Black was in Brutal Legend.
Yes. And I love that. And apparently him and Tim Schafer are still really good friends. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, Double Fine's part of Xbox and Psychonauts 2. We didn't get a release date. It's sad, but we
had the greatest idea ever for Jack Black.
Oh god.
What if Jack Black does a Let's Play on Jablinski of Brutal Legend? I'll take 5% of your revenue, Jack. You're welcome.
Please.
You're welcome for that idea. The next one we had was DBZ Kakarot. It looks like a Dragon Ball game. I mean, at the end of the day, it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
The fighting looks better than normal.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, it's just another Dragon Ball game.
Yes.
And I love the Dragon Ball games. But I kind of am sick of fighting Frieza again.
My problem,
I'll just be honest.
My problem is I love Dragon Ball. I can't get enough of Dragon Ball until it becomes the start of every game is you start at the Sand Saga, and you go to the Frieza Saga, and you go to the Cell Saga, and you go to the Boo Saga. I like this. I like the story. I just don't want to play it like 800 fucking times.
You know what I would love is them to just make an entirely new story. I actually this is really weird. Dragon Ball Online in Taiwan actually had a really cool, unique story about like the Majin race and how they were created and how there's female and male Majins and how that interaction works with the world and how that exists today post all of this stuff. And they really created this new idea that was really cool. And I would rather just... Perfect example. I'm forgetting her number, but Android 21 from Fighters. Perfect example. What a fantastic story. She's got such a great story, and all that new stuff they added in Fighters was fantastic.
It's great.
It was fantastic.
I understand they want... I think, obviously it's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's going to be a solely Goku adventure. Fine. Yes. Do we really need it?
I actually just don't want more Goku, to be fair. And it's not about Goku. I just don't want more of those cast anyway, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or let me play as Trunks. Do this. You have Trunks after he destroys the androids, between basically Trunks with the Android Saga
and Super
up to Zamasu. And
that'd be amazing.
Boo and Black Goku.
Or just
and then boom, you have this massive realm to work with.
Just make a Super game.
Yeah, why haven't they actually? That's a good question.
They always have it as like DLC. Like, come on, like Super has 180
It's a
episodes?
lot, yeah.
And
some of it stuff's really good.
You telling me you couldn't make a game with that story?
Yeah.
Like, come on. How awesome would it be to fight Beerus?
Yeah.
And then Golden Frieza, Black Goku, Zamasu, like...
Jiren. Kefla. Like...
Figure it out.
All these characters.
Hey, man. It's probably going to be fun. I'm just...
Do it like the manga, too. Make it Gohan versus Kefla. Come on now. The next one they had that was really cool was 12 minutes.
Yeah.
That got me. That grabbed me. I'll be honest. Emotionally, that one grabbed me.
That was one of the games all of us were pretty quiet while it was going on.
Yeah.
Like, when the first part happens, when she hands him the gift, and he says what the gift is, like, it's baby clothes, and we're like, what? How the fuck do you know that?
Yeah.
And he keeps talking, and I remember all of us kind of sitting up and going...
If you're trying to surprise me, because you're pregnant, there's going to be a guy that's coming to our door.
What the...
Yeah, he's going to hurt you. It got good.
And I'll be honest, I do like... You know, obviously, it's very obvious. The game is called 12 minutes because you're probably replaying these 12 minutes of life throughout this entire game.
Or these 12 minutes, that moment that's happening they showed is like this crucial 12-minute period.
Yeah, like, it's Groundhog Day. You're reliving the same event to try to prevent it, but I kind of hope there's like... I kind of hope and don't hope it doesn't just happen in this one room, because I would like to find out.
There were a couple rooms that showed like they showed like him in the bathroom at one point.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like him in the bedroom. But they nailed it too with the way they painted it right, where it's like him talking to her, him cuddling with her in the bed, him like helping her. It looks like with dinner or something along those lines. Them having dinner, and during all this time, it's cutting in between like her getting beaten in the bedroom. Him getting tied up getting his face like kicked in, hearing the gunshot, hearing the like the sirens,
and then the last screen you see is her dead on the bathroom floor, and you're just like,
yeah, and it's just like him crying or screaming or whatever, and I'm getting good. I just got it again. Actually, got the chill. It's really gripping.
It's cool as hell, man. I'm gonna get it.
Yes, 100% gonna try it. You've won me. I forget. I didn't write down who it was who was making it. I'm interested. You've won me.
So. I have this written down this way because this is probably the part I cared the least about in this conference. I wrote Gears 5 with a question mark.
So my notes are seriously, what? And it's happening, but they're not telling us anything. And they didn't tell us pretty much at all. Now, granted, okay, maybe their point was, yes. Oh, no. So what they did tell us... Sorry. What they did tell us was, hey, we'll see you in July with stuff to talk about, and August with stuff to talk about, and we're launching in September.
Also, if you buy our deluxe edition, you can play 4 days early.
Yes. But what they didn't tell you was anything today, besides there's a game mode coming called Escape.
And They didn't even show it.
No, they did. That trailer is, I'm assuming, is a representation of the escape.
I would have much rather seen gameplay.
Let's be honest, it's not that interesting looking. It just looks like a horde mode. It looks like Left 4 Dead. It just looks like Left 4 Dead. You're just trying to get from one place away from the creatures and fight them off as they go. It's not like a really cool, interesting, unique gameplay. It's another mode. And I'm not trying to crap on Gears of War. If this was any game, I'd be saying the same thing. But they didn't show us anything to get excited about. And the weird... They were trying to be, like, way too artsy with the whole, like... I forget her name, but the character with, like... Marcus Phoenix and, like, all that... Like, the souls of, like, all the people kind of bellying in and out of her face and all this other stuff for, like, way too long.
It's like a minute and a half.
It was awkwardly long. And then they come out, they say, by the way, we have a new game mode. We've got some WWE superstars here to play it. And then they never show it. So what was the point of them? By the way, July and August is when you should actually be paying attention. We launched in September.
So,
like, that was it.
Just to kind of, like, piggyback off this, and then we'll get to the next thing. He says not to shit on Gears. Here's the deal. Gears fans, let's be real. The first game, it was alright. It wasn't that great. You need to fucking relax. Gears 2 was fucking great. It's actually probably the only stellar game
it was fantastic.
out of the 6. Gears 3 is fucking awful. It's not good. Gears of War Judgment is even worse. It's fucking bad. Gears of War 4 is not good.
I don't know anything past 2. So this
hype for Gears 5 and like, no, this game's gonna fix it. But you have one good game, a single good game in your franchise.
Yeah, it was really strange. Okay. It was really strange hearing the IGN crew in the beginning be like, this franchise is like super underrated. It's like, Gears of War is underrated?
It sells millions of copies every time it comes out.
Okay, some people might argue like maybe it's overrated or whatever, but honestly, if anything, it's good where it is. Like, it's very popular, incredibly popular. It's doing fine.
My problem is I want to get into Gears because I really liked Gears 2, and then Gears 1 wasn't good, and Gears 3 sucked, and...
So what we're trying to say, I think, is people who are not like super invested into the franchise already, they did nothing to earn us here again. They did nothing to bring us back into it. It was very awkward. And it could be a fantastic title with a lot of cool stuff in it, but they didn't show that today at all. They didn't show anything today at all. So really weird, considering Gears was like one of their... It was Cyberpunk, Gears, and Halo. Those are the 3 things people were interested in seeing today from Xbox. Yeah. And arguably something we'll get to soon. But they whiffed on Gears. They really whiffed on it. But...
Right after Gears was actually something we were really interested in up until... a certain point. So they took this really weird segment out to talk about a new Elite controller.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, it looks fucking awesome.
I'll be straight with you. It is everything. Everything I've wanted in a console controller ever. Ever.
Interchangeable parts. You can tighten
adjustable tension on the joysticks.
You can set triggers like presets
and sensitivities and locks on them.
Programmable paddle, 4 programmable paddles on the back.
Back buttons. Yeah. The profile switcher on the front for like different games and different presets already that are in there. You have the Bluetooth connectivity.
50-hour battery life?
Yeah, 40. I think it was.
Oh,
okay. It was 40-hour battery life on this
interchangeable
controller.
D-pad. You can change the D-pads out.
Yep. By the way, it wasn't locked. It wasn't just Bluetooth, by the way. It was Bluetooth, wireless, or
AA batteries,
or cabled. You could do all of those things.
And I remember it was really weird because it was really weird for like 4 people in a room. It was me, him, Riley, and my fiance. We're watching. We're like, holy shit, this thing's really fucking cool. Yo, look up the price. This thing's probably awesome.
We were thinking, what was our guess?
It was like 80.
Was $80. Maybe 100 tops. I
would pay 100 for it.
It would take me a little bit to convince myself to get $100 for it, but I would do it probably because it has everything I've ever wanted. It's $150. It costs more than the Stadia.
A controller.
That's insane.
Costs more than a streaming service.
That is insane. I'm almost at the cost of a Switch.
Yeah.
Wow. And we're not trying to hype this up. We really were. This is the greatest thing we've ever wanted. This is everything we wanted in a controller.
I was ready to buy one.
I was seriously ready to pre-order one and get one. I said, I don't care. I want this thing. Wow, that deflated it so fast.
Yeah.
Color me instantly not interested. I can't. That's so much money. I could buy another one of these guys for Randy for that price. Probably what I'm gonna do. But I mean, like,
we're trying to figure out the setup, guys.
But man, so cool. Wow, that's upsetting. But I don't want to take away from what the controller is.
It's amazing.
Everything I've ever wanted in a controller. I think if it ever goes
on like a Cyber Monday sale or something.
Oh, I'm gonna look for it this year. 100%.
So there was that.
A quick Forza thing. Forza Horizon 4 announced expansion.
The coolest expansion.
Who would have thought this? Forza Horizon comes up. Randy even says it. Oh, there's the car. The car shows up. You see it in the smoke. You're not sure what it is. It's an upside door, like an old Lamborghini. What is it? Was it
Murcielago?
Yeah, yep. And freaking, like, okay, guy comes out. They're showing it off. Fucking Lego cars drive by. You hear everything is awesome in the background, and everyone was, the hell is going on? And the new Forza Horizon 4 expansion is Lego. It's out this week. And it actually looks really cool. You have full, like, car customization on the Lego cars.
It looks amazing.
The car they had was life-size car.
My favorite part of that
trailer. Made of Legos.
My favorite part of that trailer, by the way, is when that guy in the car, the Lego guy, drives by and he's just...
Yeah. The face. Like, that was seriously to the people watching the trailer who were like, the hell is this? What is going on? And the lady just...
It looks fun. It looks like a lot of fun.
The thing that works, like we were saying, the thing that the Forza, people who are like Forza fans know, there's a difference. Forza, the core Forza franchise, is way more like a car simulation game. Forza Horizon is way more silly. It's way more out of the box. It's an arcade game at heart. And it's crossplay, which is fantastic. So them doing this on Forza Horizon 4 is brilliant because you can get away with it and it's funny. So and it works in that universe.
So it was cool. And they built a car out of Lego, so it was amazing.
It looked great.
It was fucking great. So after that, we actually shout outs to all you Dreamcast lovers.
Yeah.
And
that's how I first ever played this.
And shout outs to Kyle. Actually, and Bobby Gaines. I think Bobby Gaines played this game. Pretty sure it was Bobby. Either way, he likes Dreamcast. So They were alluding to, Sega came up, and we're like, oh, okay, maybe it's like.
By the way, I still hate every time the Sega logo comes up. It's like, Sega. No, still
Sega
needs to be that.
So, it comes up and it says a classic RPG, and you're like, okay, so you run it through your head, Sega RPGs. You're like, okay, there's not a whole heck of a lot.
Cold Max.
Yeah. So the big one is obviously you jump right to Phantasy Star. Are they like putting Phantasy Star Online on like Xbox? And yeah, it's basically it. It's a full trailer talking about it's free to play. It's going to be free to play for Xbox.
Well, this game, by the way, is already out in Japan. Yeah. It's out in Japan.
And it's finally coming to the West. Phantasy Star Online 2.
Yep.
In 2020. I've heard great things about Phantasy Star. Maybe I'll try it if it's on the Windows Store on PC. Maybe I won't. Who really cares? It looked cool.
It's really interesting. Like we meant. Oh, sorry, we finished.
No, I was just gonna say for the Phantasy Star people, good for you. You're finally getting a new Phantasy Star.
And
game.
People who maybe like MMOs, who want to try it, or MMO lights, give it worth a shot.
Have to download these Japanese clients.
I actually remember listening to I forget who it was. I actually remember listening to a Giant Bombcast a couple of years ago when this was first coming out in the East. I think it might have been Jeff Gerstmann. I don't remember. Talking about them trying to play this, like, the Japanese client of it, and actually really enjoying the game and getting lost in it. But the problem was it was just, like, the lag was so bad and all that playing in the West.
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting. What we were saying, too, is very interesting that Microsoft is getting all these MMOs on their console.
While I'm thinking of it, is this the game that Smilegate is helping with?
Yes.
Okay, so then, please, Lost Ark.
Yeah, but so they also have, but Black Desert Online just came to the Xbox.
And it does really well on the Xbox.
It is. Bless Unleashed. Only reason I'm actually looking forward to it in any capacity is because it's Namco Bandai. Namkai Bando making it.
I want that other shit. I'm a solving problem.
But they are making the new Bless game, which I'm... The only reason I'm interested in it, honestly, I don't know why I'm interested in it still.
Because Namkai Bando.
Bless has an interesting...
Namkai Bando has like that...
Namco Bando. Namco
Bandai. Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ.
Didn't they used to not be call themselves that? They called themselves something in it.
They were Bandai Namco, now they're Namco Bandai.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Is that what screwed me up?
Yes. So, Namco Bandai. Jesus Christ.
NB. That's what we find out.
It's kind of like has a reputation of like platinum. Like when they make something, it's like, I'll try it.
Or Atlas. See what happens. It's going to be unique and interesting. It'll be seriously the thing with those three. It is always a unique experience you will never have again.
Yeah,
always.
So that was cool. And
they weren't done yet.
Yeah. So
they then had no, sorry, that wasn't the game Smilegate was coming to. My bad. The next game was Crossfire X,
which
looks neat. I have no clue what it is. It looks like a military shooter,
but I can't
with some cool rock music.
Fuck all if I know what the fuck it was going on.
Smilegate. My note is, the hell is this?
So Namco Bandai, I said that on purpose that time, had another game announced.
I'm hyped.
Which, fuck you and Riley, I was right.
But to be fair, it doesn't look like it.
It did not look like one. So, this trailer starts playing. It's another, like, Japanese RPG.
Clearly role-playing game,
and you're like, okay, cool, I wonder what this is, blah, blah. And I said, oh, it's probably a Tales game. And I had nothing to go off of other than it was...
Namco Bandai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
But then they start showing art. And it does not look like Tales.
It looks like they really didn't take the old engine and built one. It looks like they built this from the ground up.
This looks like one of the new Yeast games.
And you said Yeast. You're like, Yeast?
Maybe Yeast. Yeah, it looks like the new Yeast engine. It looks it's almost like the new Grand Blue Fantasy.
Yeah. Which still looks really awesome.
Yeah, it looked different. It didn't look like a Tales game.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me right in the down under. It was a Tales game.
It looks cool. It looks like Tales.
Now, real question. So the name of the game, I'm going to argue, could be one of two things. Because it's Tales, and they love to do weird things with their names. It's either Tales of Arise or Tales of Arise. It's guaranteed could be Arise, because they like to do weird things with their names. They didn't show much, though.
Yeah.
They showed enough to what would say a JRPG fan would be interested in.
I'm getting it.
Interesting plot. Kind of some weird, unique things about the world. That's about that. And then Tales. And Tales, guys, seriously, you guys have been fucking killing it. You guys have been ruining the freaking day, dude. I'm so happy for them. Tales has been this like weird. JRPGs in general went through this weird phase. Tales has reliably made some fantastic titles.
I'll be honest, even the worst Tales games, I wouldn't even say are bad. They're just not as good as the others.
Some of them are bad. Tales of the Abyss.
It's okay.
No, it's bad.
It's alright.
No, but like you've had Symphonia, you've had Vesperia, you've had Vesperia. I mean, you've had some fantastic.
Even some of the more divisive ones, like Grace's F and what the fuck? Oh my god.
That the one?
Not Zillia is actually people actually really like Zillia. I'm trying to think. Zestiria. Tales of Zestiria.
That's what I'm thinking. Zestiria is pretty okay.
But even then, like, even the okay ones are better than a lot of other ones people try to make.
A lot of other JRPGs in general. So if you're a JRPG fan, you know it.
So it's gonna be good.
You're gonna get Tales.
Hopefully.
It's like when they announced a Persona game. Gonna get it.
Yeah.
Well, Persona is a little bit different. Persona's a lot more hype behind it.
Yeah. But it's probably gonna be good. We'll probably play it. So that was pretty cool.
Yep.
So as far as games, I don't actually remember if there were that many other games.
They just announced that the new Borderlands DLC is out today.
It's already installed on my PC.
Yeah, if you check your Steam, it really is there. The download update update's ready. Just let the download it. It's the transition between Borderlands 2 to Borderlands 3.
Which
the only thing we really know about really is that it just revolves relatively around Lilith.
And from what Borderlands 3 is telling us, she's going to lose her
Possibly about Well, we know for a fact at some point she loses them. In the trailer they showed, she claims. You guys did catch the detail I didn't. I caught the tail end of it.
The part that's important.
She shows she has the tattoos. She walks into into the light. The tattoos go away, and she mentions she was once one of 6 sirens in the universe,
and now she's not.
And she has all the tattoos gone. That's the key of the sirens. So that's gone. They did show Elden Ring, which is the FromSoft game working with George R.R. Martin,
who obviously is famous for Game of Thrones.
Yep, we have no clue what it is, if it's taking place in the Ice and Fire universe, we're not sure, but it's FromSoft, and so far their record is Demon Souls, great, Dark Souls, great, Dark Souls 2, okay, 3, great, Bloodborne, Sekiro, I mean, they've had such a fantastic run of games.
I think at this point, people are just more upset that Bloodborne 2 isn't announced yet.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But so it'll be cool. Guaranteed it'll be cool. It's FromSoft. They've been doing awesome. But then they talked about two things. One, which very briefly, after I spit on myself like a pathetic child. xCloud. Basically, Microsoft's answer using Azure Tech, which is solid. As someone who uses it for professionally, Azure is fantastic architecture. Yeah. They're using Azure Tech to do cloud computing. Yeah. And they're literally just using raw consoles as their cloud processing power. Yeah. So that's their answer to Google Stadia, essentially. It looks fine. Yeah. It looks fine. It'll and they hit all the right boxes. It's gonna work the same way Stadia essentially does. You just need Windows 10 or an Xbox. Yeah. About it. Not too bad. So not much to say besides it's cloud gaming.
Good on you.
Looks good. Then they had Project Scarlet, which was probably outside Cyberpunk, Halo, and Gears, the thing that people were looking forward. There were rumors. They were talking about Scarlet, and people weren't sure to buy the rumors because no one had seen leaks about this console yet or what the thing was going to be. So they did come out, and Phil Spencer talked about Project Scarlet.
And me and him had both the same exact thought when this was happening, right? When you compare the announcement of the Scorpio to the announcement of Scarlet, this one is so much better than this one as far as like promoting wise. Because the biggest problem with the Scorpio announcement was they didn't tell you anything other than numbers that didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
The main people who watch E3 are just gamers looking to buy games and a console. They typically aren't people like us.
That's what we say. The joke I always make, go out and ask somebody what the fuck a teraflop is. I'll be honest, as someone who works in the industry, I don't care what a teraflop is because it doesn't affect me in any capacity. Right? Like, no, that knowledge is so irrelevant, and yet they love to throw that word around there because you can put a big number attached to it.
What they did say for Scarlet were the things that mattered that the regular gamer nowadays cares about.
Yeah, so interesting, before we go too deep into this, interesting thing. Scorpio was super anti-consumer out the gate. Out the gate. The required Kinect connection, the required online gaming, the not being able to share games, everything was bad about the Scorpio out the gate, outside its specs.
You mean the Xbox One? Because that's the Scorpio. By the time Scorpio came out, all that was gone. Xbox One.
Oh, the Scorpio was the One X. Yeah. Right. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, the Xbox One. Yeah. Sorry. All of that was just bad. The Scorpio was less interesting because it was just a better Xbox.
Yeah.
Or Xbox One. Kind of uninteresting. This is the next generation of console. They've confirmed that. But what they didn't do, which is very interesting, they didn't go over specs. They didn't go over numbers.
They went over
features. That was it, which is really exciting because all the that to me as a consumer and as a gamer, the tech side of me is interested in the numbers, yes, but the gamer in me, the part that's going to be utilizing this the most, cares about the features.
Yeah,
they focus on the features. The only thing they did talk about specs was the processor, but we'll get through that in a bit. But from top to bottom, you just want to talk about some of the stuff they talked about?
So, one of the first things they talked about is they said they worked alongside a company to build a brand new processor for this thing.
Unique. It's unique to the Xbox. There is a problem with that. The one worry I have. Actually, you know what? No, sorry. Go ahead. I'll bounce off you.
So, there's now the two out of the three big gaming giants are using AMD architecture.
Yes.
Which was actually really exciting to hear because up until this point, I don't think Xbox was using AMD. They might have been. I don't think they were. I think they were using in-house processors. I think they were building their own in-house processors.
One of the big things about using AMD is price.
Yes.
AMDs are cheaper in general. It's very cost-effective, which means the console price can stay low.
Yes.
Or lower.
So, AMD architecture, that's a great thing.
Yep.
It apparently is going to work really great alongside some of these other things we're going to go over. But good on you going with AMD. I run AMD in my computer. I do as AMD. Well.
I use Intel, by the way, pretty much my whole life until recently.
By the way, that they're setting this standard, right? They talked not about 60 frames per second, standardizing 120 frames per second.
It's you.
2019. There is no fucking excuse. I don't care what gamer you are, how you think, what limitations you think these things have. A console nowadays has no fucking excuse to lock something at 30 frames.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous.
It is
a regular
absurd.
PS4 has no excuse. A PS4 Pro has no excuse. A regular Xbox One has no excuse. Xbox One X has no excuse. These things should be running at 60 frames.
Minimum.
And there are plenty of studies and things that prove that this can be done. It's just not being done.
Yes.
The fact that Xbox wants to set the standard double that with Scarlet, good.
If their goal is 60 minimum, 120 when they can, I'm even cool with that.
Yes.
I'm actually really cool with that. I would love to see 120 minimum, but I'm expecting 60 minimum. 120 is their goal. That I'm cool with. The thing that they did mention too right off the gate as well, alongside the processing uniqueness. The unique thing about the processor could be a bad thing. If you remember when the PS3 came out, they used the unique cell processor, and it became a problem because developers had a hard time making things for it, because you have to work around your hardware when you're building software, and it was a lot of work to understand the inner workings of this thing. I'm hoping, by the way they made it sound, it's using just Ryzen tech. And if it's using AMD Ryzen tech,
that's
then
amazing.
You can utilize a lot of things about it, which is really great about Ryzen, but it's also not that hard to program for. That's one of the biggest things about Ryzen, is it's meant to also be easy to develop for. But they were very clear. Out the gate, Phil Spencer made the comment, with the Xbox One, they were basically off in what they were trying to sell.
Yeah.
This is about not an entertainment box.
A game box.
It's a game box.
Which had me so happy.
Which is funny because this wouldn't have worked about 10 years ago.
Fuck no.
Because the PS2, what made it popular was the fact that it was a DVD player.
Yep.
Straight up. The Xbox 360 was a DVD player and had online features and it had online applications you could use. That was one of the reasons it was so great. The PS4 had a better streaming service, had a better platform for streaming and all that stuff. You don't need that, though, anymore, because TVs inherently do it. Your phones inherently do it. Tablets inherently do it. You no longer buy a console for those things as well. You just now buy a console for gaming again. You've like the circles come around full, and now all people care about is gaming.
They want to bring convenience back to the console.
Because now they've understood what's the point of having the console if your TV inherently has Netflix. It's kind of irrelevant. At this point, we're just bloating our console. Yeah. We're building it to do things it doesn't need to do anymore.
We're sending it to you with hard drive space already taken
Exactly. It's like the HP bloatware, Dell bloatware on a laptop. But now they are building this for gaming out the gate hard, and specifically for that, thank you. Thank you. I don't want an entertainment box. I want a gaming box.
When I buy a console, I want it to play games.
Yes. I don't buy it because it can also Netflix. I don't care about that. I really don't.
So one other thing that actually helps along with the AMD architecture, with the 120 frames a second standard they want to set. Solid state drives.
Yes.
Thank you. Fucking thank you.
As the standard, which it should be now. SSDs are pretty cheap now. I get why they weren't standard when the Xbox One and PS4 first came out.
Yes.
They were still pretty pricey. It's still about over $1 per gig. They're nowhere near that now. You can buy a 512 SSD pretty cheap for the most part.
Yeah.
So this this probably is going to come. I'm going to guess with a 512 gigabyte or 1 terabyte SSD.
Which I'm curious. This is one thing I'm going to hope right out the gate, and if they don't do it, then I'm going to be upset. I'm wondering if a lot of this extra shit, the stuff they went over today, hints at no more need to install.
I'm going to guess you're still going to have to install. The reason I say it is because one of their big focuses was load times.
Yeah.
And load time is all
especially that one older woman was like super into load time.
I think they were just jabbing the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything Sony's been saying.
About the PS5?
Yeah. What's the PS5 got? Good load times. Oh yeah, that's really cool. What about other specs? Well, I mean, it's got really good load times. Oh, what's the controller look like? Oh, you wait till you see the load times. So that's all they're talking about. So I think Microsoft is like, guys, we gotta get this chick who looks a little too old for the industry, who's a sweetheart, and just have her talk about load times. I think that's what they did.
So along with the solid state, they announced virtual RAM.
Which is Ryzen tech.
Yes, which is amazing. If you don't really know how Ryzen tech works, basically a Ryzen chip will naturally supplement RAM that you have left over that you're not using.
And hard drive space.
Yes, to bump up your processing power.
And your video memory.
So imagine that natively happening with your console.
essentially, not to get into the real nitty gritty of it, but like your graphics card is clearly doing a lot of the fidelity, and the processor hands out all the tasks, right? The Risen tech allows you to utilize your RAM also as basically treats it uniquely to also hand out to where it needs to go. So if it'll use RAM in place of hard drive space or in place of graphics memory. That makes your graphics card be able to operate better. Or the other thing it can do is utilize free hard drive space and utilize that as an extra RAM cache. Because hard drives are slower, but SSD is really fast still in comparison. But RAM is just so much faster. Anyway, it can utilize basically extra sets of storage to kind of hand it off as it's needed as this backup. Yeah. And it allows for some really great performances, especially when it comes to gaming.
But funny enough, after that, they don't really go over... I think they chose these features in particular to show that this thing is trying to get you to play your games as fast and efficiently as possible.
It was all gaming related.
It's what a console should be. Mm-hmm. Build the hardware to allow your consumer to play the games they want to play as fast and efficient as possible.
Yes.
Why it has taken till 2019 to apparently figure that out again is beyond me.
I think we got lost because of the PS2 success. I really do.
It fucking sucks, man. It sucks.
So the thing is, to wrap that part up, they didn't show the console. They didn't talk price, anything like that. They just announced this is the stuff that they're aiming for, what they're working on, and that it's coming out in holiday 2020.
Which, if it's as good as this says it is, yes, I will get one.
I'm interested. The other thing is, big thing that is getting released that they ended on is Halo Infinite. Is going to be a launch title for the Scarlet.
They're saying that as they're explaining how they're coming up on almost 20 years of Halo, and how they're trying to release the Scarlet as this pinnacle of gaming, and how they want to have their pinnacle franchise helmet.
Yes.
And then he says, along with the Scarlet, you will have Halo released with it. The last time we had Halo released with a console was, I believe, 2. I don't think 3 came out with the release of the 360. It came out a couple months after. And then Halo 4 was obviously in the 360. And then Guardians did not launch with the Xbox One.
No.
So the last Halo that launched with the release of an Xbox console was Halo 1 Combat Evolved.
Halo, yeah.
18 years. 19 years next year.
Yeah.
That alone got me at least like, that's kind of awesome. I do miss when Halo was good.
Same.
And I'll be honest. That Halo Infinite trailer was actually really good.
I actually don't know if I want to talk about the trailer much, because I think if you enjoy Halo, and if you don't enjoy Halo, but you know of it or whatever, you're even slightly interested, I would recommend going to watch it. It's very emotional. It's very intimate, very emotional, very human, very down to like
and
Earth.
It went completely sideways as far as saying this might spoil it, and I'm trying not to, but it feels like it's reaching itself right at the beginning.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yes. They're going down the path a hero story doesn't go down. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
It really, as someone who does have this deep inner love for Halo and wanting Halo to be good again, because they haven't been good since Reach. I'm sorry, they just haven't.
They haven't been great, at least.
Yeah. Like, 1 was really good, 2 is phenomenal. 3 is crap, ODST is okay, Reach is phenomenal, 4 is shit, 5 is shit. Like, we're not even gonna talk about Wars.
I'm hoping.
But really, go watch it. Go watch the Halo Infinite trailer. It's very un-Halo of a trailer.
Yes.
Until about like a 3/4 mark, and then
it does end on like we're gonna end this fight.
It almost ends like Halo 2 ends.
Yeah, it does. Exactly.
So with that, it brings the Microsoft conference to an end. Wow, it was
a great one to start.
It was phenomenal.
They did a very good job starting.
It was phenomenal. Last year they had a lot of stuff. They just didn't have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Last year I probably would have ranked them like a B. Like, it was good. There was a lot of games. Not a lot people really cared about. But it was a lot of games, so people were like, "Oh, okay, at least we got to see the stuff." But overall, Microsoft really, I think, as far as starting E3 officially,
did a very good job.
Was amazing. So we're gonna be queer, and we're gonna
Pride Month.
So we're gonna do what every most E3 review panels or reviewing of conferences do. We're gonna grade the panels.
Yes.
You.
I gave it a loads of games out of an overpriced controller. That's what I gave it.
Would you actually give it
a B? B plus.
Okay, it's not far off. I gave it an A minus.
So what I put was the only thing is the big four. Cyberpunk we already knew about. All it did was cinch my decision. I already know I'm
getting it day one.
Gears of War, I think they really missed and dropped the ball. And Halo did entice me, just because the way they've presented that story, I'm hoping is if they can make the trailers and they can make the story behind these scenes really emotional, I'm more inclined to believe they can make the game emotional. So I'm grabbing at that. The thing that would have put it to an A for me is if we actually saw the Scarlet.
Yeah.
I think if this was actually out or ready to go, I think it could have been really big, could have been a really big Microsoft conference. The only thing is, it wasn't there. So, for the most part, the Scarlet felt good. Gears, they completely dropped the ball. Halo, they didn't have enough. And Cyberpunk, I already knew about. So, like, the big ones, that was it. But everything else, they just showed constant game after game after game after game after game, which, to be honest, is actually all I care about. I don't care about your buzzword. I don't care about you talking. I don't care about you your trying PR to bullshit. Pitch to sales stockholders or whatever. I don't care at E3. I am here to watch you
talk about games.
Me at games. Yes, that's all I care about. I don't give a crap about all the other stuff. I don't want those awkward... We have Bethesda in 15 minutes. I'm going in expecting some really awkward stuff.
Yeah.
It could be funny, but I'm not going to be excited about it. It's just going to be like, oh, Bethesda.
So that's going to wrap up Microsoft. Expect the Bethesda video very shortly, too.
Yep.
We will be doing all the major panels throughout the week.
Yep.
Typically, we only do these once a week, but you'll get, obviously, all the E3 panels, our thoughts, all the reveals. And
we'll probably do, we might do a post E3 this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
Just to kind of wrap up all of it together and maybe do a ranking of our favorites or whatever.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the Bethesda conference, and thank you. Have a great night.
Twitch.tv/Zerbraxi.
Discord.gg/DuskyCaseGamers. Is that what it is? I think
it's DCG_Discord, I think. No, it's bit.ly.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
bit.ly DCG_Discord, I believe.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, peace out, guys.